You can pray all you want. You can dream all night. But if you don't move your feet, God ain't gonna move either. See, He'll bless what you do, but He can't bless what you won't do. So let me give you 7 daily actions that will change your life. These are habits, y'all, not hacks. Habits win, excuses don't. Start with God, begin every day with faith and gratitude. Now let me really break this down for you. Before we talk about goals, hustle, or any kind of strategy, you gotta get your mind and your spirit right first thing in the morning. I'm telling you right now, you can't win the day if your heart's in chaos and your head's clouded. That's why I always say, start with God every single day. Now I ain't talking about religion. I'm talking about connection. I'm talking about taking 5, maybe 10 minutes in the morning to align yourself with something bigger than you. Because here's the truth, you were not created just to survive. You were created to thrive, to lead, to build, to grow. But you can't tap into that power if you don't tap into the source. Starting your day with God centers you. It grounds you. It puts you in a space of gratitude instead of anxiety. And when you're grateful, your mind becomes sharper, your decisions get better, and your energy shifts completely. Psychologically speaking, the first few minutes after you wake up, that's when your brain is in a highly suggestible state. So whatever you feed your mind in those early moments, it sets the tone for the rest of the day. If you grab your phone, scroll through negativity, check emails, argue with strangers on social media, you're starting your day with noise, not with intention. But if you wake up and say, thank you, even if everything ain't perfect, now you're training your brain to look for what's working, not just what's wrong. Philosophers call that priming your perspective. You're choosing to lead with purpose. And when you operate with that kind of clarity and humility, it affects how you walk into every room. It affects how you handle pressure, how you deal with people, how you bounce back from failure. Success isn't just about what you do, it's about who you are while you're doing it. And starting with God makes sure you show up as your best self every time. So here's what I want you to take away. If you don't anchor yourself first thing in the morning, the world will pull you in every direction. But when you start your day with faith and focus, there's no storm you can't walk through. Simple as that. Write it down. Goals are dreams with a deadline. Let me tell you something that took me years to learn, and it's simple. If you don't write it down, it probably won't happen. I'm serious. A goal that lives only in your head is just a wish. It's like trying to build a house with no blueprint. You might have the dream, the drive, even the talent, but without clarity, you'll just stay busy instead of being productive. Now here's what's wild. Psychologists have studied this. There's something called the generation effect. Basically, when you write something down, your brain processes it differently. It becomes real, tangible. Your mind starts connecting that goal to action. And once it's written, your subconscious starts to get to work behind the scenes, looking for patterns, opportunities, ideas to get you closer to that goal. That's not magic, that's science. But let me come at it another way. Think about it philosophically. If you can't define what you want, how can you ever know if you've arrived? Most people walking around frustrated, tired, even depressed, not because they're lazy, but because they're lost. They never sat down to decide what success really means to them. So they chase other people's dreams, get caught up in comparison, and end up feeling empty. That's what happens when you don't take the time to define your vision. I don't care how big or small it is, write it down. Want to buy a house? Write it down. Want to lose weight? build a business, get closer to your family, travel the world. Write it. Writing makes it real. Writing puts it in motion. And I don't mean typing it in your notes app and forgetting about it. I mean writing it with your hand. Something about seeing that ink on paper. It connects you deeper to the thing you say you want. And here's the secret. Once you write it down, you've created something to measure against. Now you can check your actions and ask, does this get me closer to the life I wrote down, or is this just noise? So I'll leave you with this. If your dream matters enough to you, it should live somewhere outside your mind. Write it down and let that page be the contract between who you are and who you're becoming. Plan your day, don't wing it, win it. Let me tell you something that'll change the way you move through life. You got to plan your day before your day plans you. I've seen too many people with all the talent, all the potential, all the ambition, and yet they're stuck. Why? Because they wake up every day and just react. They wake up late, check their phone, and get dragged into the chaos of everybody else's schedule. That's not how you win. That's how you survive, and we weren't made just to survive. Now listen, I know people say, I work better under pressure, or I like to go with the flow. But let's get real. That ain't flow, that's drifting, and nothing great is built by drifting. Greatness is built by design. If you study successful people, I'm talking CEO, athletes, creatives, you'll see a pattern. They don't just show up hoping things go right. They show up with a plan. They control what they can control. From a psychological perspective, planning your day is about setting intention. It puts your brain into what scientists call a proactive mindset. That means instead of reacting to problems, you're anticipating them. You're creating structure, and structure reduces stress. It gives your day meaning. Even a 10-minute plan in the morning tells your brain, this is where we're going. This is what matters today. And here's the deeper truth. When you plan your day, you're not just managing time, you're managing energy. You're deciding where your focus goes. And where focus goes, progress flows. So if you don't take control of those 24 hours, someone else will. A distraction will. A crisis will. And before you know it, the day is gone, and you're no closer to the life you said you wanted. I'm not saying you need a minute-by-minute schedule, but at the very least, ask yourself, what are the top 3 things I need to do today to move forward? Write them down, prioritize them. Then go after them like your future depends on it, because it does. So, let me leave you with this. A day without a plan is a dream without direction, and dreams without direction. They don't go anywhere. Plan your day and watch your life start to follow. Outwork, everybody hustle beats talent. When talent don't hustle, let me break this one down in a way you won't forget. You gotta outwork everybody. That's the one thing you can control every single day, how hard you're willing to push. Look, I've been around people with more money, more connections, more education than me. But they didn't outlast me. They didn't outgrind me, and that made the difference. See, talent is beautiful, no doubt. But let me tell you the truth, talent without work ethic is wasted potential. It's untapped greatness. And life don't reward potential, it rewards performance. Psychologists call this deliberate effort. That means showing up with focus, with consistency, and doing the things other people won't do, especially when nobody's watching. A lot of folks say they want to be successful, but what they really mean is they want the feeling of success, the applause, the lifestyle, the comfort. But the real ones know Success doesn't feel good every day. Some days it's early mornings, late nights, doing it tired, doing it scared, doing it unsure. That's the part people don't post about. But that's the part that builds character. That's the part that builds legacy. Philosophically speaking, the grind is sacred. It's how you honor your purpose. Because when you give your best effort every day, you're not just chasing outcomes, you're becoming someone greater in the process. You're building self-respect. You're building grit. And grit, not genius, is what carries you through the valleys of life. Don't get caught watching other people's highlight reels thinking success came easy. You see the shine, but you don't see the sacrifice. You don't see the years they worked in silence, while nobody clapped, while doors closed, while it looked like nothing was working. But they kept going, and that's why they got there. So here's the truth. You don't need to be the best. You just need to be relentless. Show up when others quit. Push when it's inconvenient. Outwork 'em, not because they're your competition, but because your future is. That version of you you've been dreaming about, they're waiting on the hustle you put in today. Let me leave you with this. The grind is the gatekeeper to greatness. And only the consistent get through. Read something, feed your mind daily. Let's talk about something that most people overlook on the path to success. You've got to read something every day. Now I know what some of y'all are thinking, Steve, I'm not a big reader, or I ain't got time to sit down with a book. But let me tell you something, plain and simple, if you're not feeding your mind, you're starving your future. Your mind is like soil. Whatever you plant in it, that's what's gonna grow. You keep feeding it gossip, junk, social media drama. Don't be surprised when your thoughts feel cluttered, your energy feels low, and your progress feels stuck. But when you start feeding it with wisdom, with new ideas, with knowledge, man, it's like lighting a fire inside you. Now, let's talk psychology for a second. There's a concept called cognitive expansion. That means every time you read something meaningful, whether it's a chapter, an article, a quote, you literally expand the way your brain thinks. You make new connections. You start to solve problems differently. You see opportunities where you used to see walls. And it ain't even about reading for hours. I'm talking 10 minutes a day, just enough to stretch your thinking. That little bit of daily investment adds up over time. You ever heard the phrase compound interest? That's not just about money, it's about knowledge too. Read a little every day, and one day you'll wake up thinking differently, speaking with confidence, and making moves that feel effortless, because you've trained your mind to lead, not follow. Let me give you something deeper. Reading isn't just about information. It's about identity. When you read the right stuff, books on mindset, leadership, purpose, finances, health, you're shaping who you are becoming. You're choosing your future, and that, my friend, is powerful. I didn't grow up with money. I didn't go to the best schools. But I educated myself every single day in books, in audiobooks, in articles, in conversations with people who were smarter than me. And over time, that became my advantage, that became my edge. So let me leave you with this. Every page you read is a step toward the person you're meant to be. Read daily because leaders are learners, and success never follows a stagnant mind. Speak success. What you say over your life becomes your life. Now let's talk about something that's often underestimated, but I promise you this one right here can change everything. Surround yourself with the right people. Every single day, the people you allow into your space are either lifting you or limiting you. There is no neutral energy when it comes to growth. It either fuels you or drains you. You ever notice how you feel after talking to certain folks? Some conversations light a fire under you. They leave you inspired, focused, ready to go. Others, they leave you second, guessing yourself, doubting your dream, stuck in the same old fear and excuses. That's not by accident, that's energy. And if you're serious about success, you have to get intentional about protecting your energy. Psychologically, this is called social influence theory, meaning over time your thoughts, your behaviors, even your beliefs start to mirror the people around you. So if you're constantly around small minds, negative attitudes, or folks who settle, you'll start doing the same. But get around dreamers, doers, and people who speak life into you. Your standards shift. Your vision sharpens. You start thinking, why not me? Let me tell you something I learned the hard way. You don't need a crowd, you need a circle. A small group of people who challenge you, support you, and hold you accountable to your best self. Not the self you present online, the real you, the one with flaws and fears and ambition. The right circle doesn't just celebrate your wins, they correct you when you're off track. And that's love. Philosophically, this goes even deeper. The company you keep is a reflection of the future you believe you deserve. Read that again. If you surround yourself with average, you've accepted average as your ceiling. But when you position yourself around excellence, when you stay close to wisdom, courage, discipline, your life will start to mirror that energy. So here's what I'll leave you with. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, choose your circle wisely. Your future depends on who's walking with you.